The Kinera Celest Relentless. Let's talk about it. Now, Kinera is known for having flavored sets, and this is my fourth Kinera that I've got to try. There's, some interesting things about their IEMs. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them are kind of unique. This one, I think, is pretty awesome, but it's not for everybody, so let's get into it. Now, their case is a little bit larger than the normal Celeste case. It's like kind of a rectangular shape. It's a little bit larger. It's just a nice little case. Oftentimes, even at this price point, sometimes you'll get a pouch, and you don't get a full case. So this is a nice addition. The cable does come with a 4.4 connector, so for those that need a little bit more power, they can use the 4.4 connector. It is a nice addition. It is a 2-pin cable. It feels really good in hand. It has a nice chin slider. You can see it right here. And its cable feels really plush and good in hand. It's a great quality cable. It feels nice, and it has no problems for me. Huge fan of it. Celeste always does good cables, and I like this. Now the shell size. The shells are a nice size, but they fit and they feel really good in ear. It's one of the nicer kind of isolating shells we've had. Like the Pandemon 2.0 is a little bit small, and some of their other IEMs are a little bit on the medium size, but this IEM, to me, it feels really class in ear, and I have no problem. It's a little bit bigger than the Awful Magic one, but it's a nice fit. Let's categorize the sound. There is a little bit of brightness to this IEM, but couplers don't always give us a lot of good information past 8K. And so that's kind of, way almost half the graph that's almost in some ways useless. But when I hear this IEM, it sounds really good. It sounds really pristine, and it has a lot of great things going on for this. For me and for my ears, this is a great V-shaped IEM, and it has really strong sonic characteristics past that 8K point. It has nice upper mids. It has nice bass. Now, this IEM does have some slight problems, and we're going to talk about it in the graph section here. Okay, let's look at some graphs of this IEM. Now, this is its graph. You'll notice it does have a little bit recessed mids. There is a little bit of energy up here around 5 to 6K. Now, it does sound good to my ear, and it is kind of fun, but I wanted to show you a few other V-shaped sets and kind of compare this to a bunch of other IEMs. The first one is the KZ Symphony, and the KZ Symphony, to my ear, it had so many problems, and it just didn't sound very good to me. To me, the Kinera Celest Relentless sounds a lot more neutral and a lot less spiky in the treble. Like, it doesn't have this crazy dip here around 300. It has better sub bass. It has a little bit less of a shouty peak at 3K. They both have good treble. And so if you're a fan of the Symphony, I would consider definitely trying the Relentless, because I think it's a better version of that. It's a little bit more neutral, and it's a little bit more fun, and I think it helps get music to be really engaging. And again, in the upper air region, it is really nice. It is a really class IEM and has really good sparkles and air and technicality if that's what you're looking for in an IEM. The next one I want to compare this to is the Forteza. Now, they do share a lot of similar qualities, but I think the Relentless is a little bit more tactful. It does have a little bit more buttery smooth upper air and treble, and I think that's something to remember. I think its upper mids are a little bit more tamed. Like, this 4K peak really bothered me when I was listening to the Forteza, but the Forteza I thought was fun on some music, but it was just too much. The Relentless does have a few tracks where it does get a little bit out of hand, but overall I think it's just a better, more technical V-shaped set than the Forteza. Now let's look at some of Kinera's other IEMs. Now, this is pretty much the whole smorgasbord of the IEMs that I've kind of reviewed. We have the Dark Phoenix and the Phoenix, which both suffer from really early ear gain around 1K. We have the Plutus Beast, which kind of suffers from a high 2K peak. The Relentless has a nice little bit more even tune, a little bit more bright, sparkly air up there. So if you are sensitive to higher regions, it might come across a little bit bright, but I think it's tactfully bright. And after a point, the question you almost have to ask yourself are we reviewing IEM graphs, or are we reviewing the IEM itself? And so I guess to my ears and to what I like, I think the upper air treble region of this graph sounds really nice. An IEM that this actually reminded me of a little bit was the EPZ 530, and I reviewed this on channel. I think they kind of have some similar qualities. The EPZ has a little bit more sub bass, and I think it has a little bit more tame upper air region. But I think it works for the Relentless, and it's a nice set, and they kind of remind me of each other, and they're both a lot of fun and good sets. The problem about the EPZ is it is kind of expensive, where the Kinera Celest Relentless is only about $170. I wanted to compare this and show this versus some other big sets. And you might think, well, why am I showing the Supernova and the Monarch MK3? These both, to me, I like the tuning of these, but they have a ton of energy around that 4 to 6K region. So I think there's the advantage of this set is that, granted, it does have a little bit lower 300 up to 800 peak, but it has a lot of good air region up here, and I do think it sounds pretty good for its price, and it does have a unique tuning that works for this IEM, and it does feel really premium. I wanted to kind of show this versus the Annihilator, and again, you'll notice it kind of has some similar trends through the bass. Again, it does have kind of similar upper mids and kind of smoother. The Relentless does have a lot more energy in that, that 4 to 6K region, but it has similar region up and beyond that graph. And you have to remember this is a logarithmic scale, so it's kind of hard to tell what's going on here. Again, I think the graph of the Relentless is one of those things that a lot of people might look at and just want to tune out, and I get that. And I would say at this price, always try to demo an IEM first. But if you're after something that has great technicalities, a fun V-shape, and you don't want to have to spend insane prices, the Kinera Celest Relentless, I think, represents a great value for someone looking for that in their library. The Kinera Relentless, I think, is a really good IEM. I'm going to give it a 5 stars, and I think it has a lot of good things for it. Like, I think its tonality isn't going to be for everybody, but it has such great technical detail and air, and I think it's kind of a fun V-shaped that really works without having too much shoutiness. I think there's a lot of good things going on with the Relentless, and I think it's going to sound great on a lot of music. It has a world-class fit and just so many great things going on about it. I just love this IEM. I think it's one of the best things that Kinera has done, and I'm super excited about this IEM and excited to see what other people think about this IEM. So overall conclusions, I think this is a beautiful set, a beautiful shell, nice accessories. I think it's a reasonable price. I think it's a fun V-shaped IEM with a great cable, with great accessories and great build quality. To me, it has a great package overall. Now, if you're looking for a Harman set, it probably wouldn't be my recommendation, or if you're looking for something neutral at this price point, I don't think it would be my recommendation at this price point. But if you are looking for a slight fun V-shaped set with great technicalities, I think this is something that is really easy to recommend. It has a few minor flaws we've tried to talk about, but when I listen to music, I love this set. I think it's just absolutely a treasure. And again, if you're at all hesitant ever about an IEM, I'm not going to tell you, yeah, just buy everything. You don't need to buy everything. You can always make friends, trade IEMs with them, or demo it at a show, or have friends go to a friend's house and try it there. I think it's important to try to make friends in this hobby and try to swap gear with people and kind of see what other people like and what's good. It's always a fun thing to do. So again, with this set, I fully recommend it. I love it, but I do like tactful Vs, and I think this is a very tactful V and a ton of fun. So I really encourage you guys to give it a go, especially if you're worried about it being shouty. It's not shouty. It has really good treble, really good upper mids, and is just a treasure and something that I fully recommend for people if you are interested in this type of a tuning or a fun, well-done V-set. Thanks for watching. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments below. You're still here. It's over. Go home. Go watch another IEM video. It's done. That's the entire video. What more do you want?